Let me break your heart gently. Your house isn't perfect, and it never was. You love it. You raised kids in it. You painted that wall all on your own. That's wonderful. But none of that matters once a buyer walks in with a flashlight and a home inspector, and someone who's watched 3 episodes of HGTV and now thinks they're some sort of structural engineer. Because here's the truth. When you sell your home, you think it's flawless. When you buy your next home, suddenly you see flaws everywhere. Welcome to the emotional hypocrisy of real estate. Let's start with sellers. You've lived there 10 years. You've got holidays, milestones. That creates something that psychologists call familiarity bias, which means you think something is more valuable simply because you own it and it's yours. So when a buyer points out a loose doorknob, you're insulted. How dare they? That doorknob's been loose for 8 years and it's never once bothered us. When they mention the roof looks old, suddenly you turn into a prosecutor. Well, it doesn't leak, does it? Case closed. And when the inspection report comes back with 47 noted items, you say the line that every seller says, "My house isn't that bad." It's not about bad. It's about perspective. You're emotionally attached. They're financially attached. Big difference. So here's the multi-million-dollar question sellers always ask me. Should I fix it or should I give them a credit? So let me simplify this as if we were speaking to a jury. Fix it when it's simple, it's cheap, it keeps the buyer from spiraling into a panic. It removes a psychological objection, and it photographs well in a repair receipt. For example, a broken GFCI outlet costs you $12 and a screwdriver to fix. Don't offer a $500 credit, just fix the outlet. Offer the credit when the repair has variables. The cost depends on contractors. The buyer will want to choose their own materials. It's something cosmetic that will never make both parties happy. A repair can reopen the entire negotiation. For example, flooring. Don't pick your buyer's flooring. You're not an interior designer. Offer a credit. So let's talk about credits because there's a giant misunderstanding in the industry about this. A credit is not free money. A credit is not a check the buyer cashes, and it's not extra profit they walk away with. A credit is simply a coupon against closing costs. If the buyer's closing costs are 10 grand, you offer a $5,000 credit. The buyers now walk away having to bring in 5,000. That's it. They're not taking 5 grand to Cabo. They're not buying a new Peloton. They're not getting bottle service at the club. It's not a payout. It's a reduction in the buyer's expense. And I cannot stress that enough. So what about the buyer psychology of this house has issues? Let's flip the camera around. Because the moment you as a seller become the buyer, all of a sudden you have superhuman, Superman-like X-ray vision to find every flaw in the house. A cabinet hinge that squeaks. A garage door that closes 1 inch slower than yours at home. A hairline crack in the drywall that even NASA wouldn't notice. Suddenly, everything's a major concern, right? Why? Because of loss aversion. Buyers fear losing money more so than they are looking forward to gaining a home. So they nitpick. And so they send inspection reports that look like crime scene investigations. So on the buyer side, do you ask for the fix or do you ask for the credit? Here's where buyers get tripped up because asking the seller to fix something means you're letting them pick the contractor, the price, the materials, the timeline. If you don't like surprises, credits are usually safer. But, and here's the twist, buyers misunderstand credits the same way sellers do. A credit is not cash, it's not a payout, and it's not money in your pocket. Your closing costs are $12,000 and you ask for a $7,000 credit, you now pay $5,000. And yet buyers ask me every single week, can we get a $10,000 credit so we can remodel the kitchen after we close escrow? No, and that's not how credits work. Unless your lender somehow approves it and the whole structure of the deal, trust me, they're not going to give you permission to go get a Home Depot shopping spree. So the real question becomes, what should I be fighting for as a buyer? This is the psychology of the deal. Fight for things that matter long term. Roof, foundation, major plumbing, electrical safety, HVAC systems, water intrusion. These are structural, financial, and safety concerns. Let go of everything else that doesn't matter. Paint, carpet color, cosmetic cracks, squeaky hinges, minor wear and tear. If the thing doesn't impact safety, finance, or long-term value, let it go. You're fighting over ego, not equity. So here's the punchline nobody likes. The exact same things you hated as the seller, you do as a buyer. And the things that annoyed you as a buyer, you're going to do to your future buyer. Real estate is a mirror. You are on both sides. Once you understand that psychology, you negotiate from logic, not emotion. So here's the truth. There is no perfect house. There are only perfect expectations. And those are always negotiable. It's your job to decide what matters, what doesn't, what's worth fighting, what's worth letting go, and whether a repair or a credit gets you to that finish line smoother and getting you what you want. Because in real estate, just like life, strategy wins, ego loses.